So good evening, everyone. We are in the ASI Time on Wednesday, 22nd of April. We have a very interesting session with Dr. Prabal Neogi interviewing four senior lady surgeons across the country. And I would now request Dr. Pratap Varate, our incoming president, vice president, to set the ball rolling. Dr. Varate, please.
Thank you very much, Santosh sir. Respected President ASI, Dr. Murda Pandian, immediate past President, Dr. Praveen Suryavanshi, Honorary Secretary, Dr. Gaddi Divakar, Honorary Treasurer, Dr. Madhumita Mukhopadhyay, Director Academic Council, Professor Dr. Raj Gopal Shenoy sir, the Principal Architect of ASI Academics, past President ASI, respected Dr. Santosh John Abraham sir, viewers on the ASI YouTube channel. It's my proud privilege and honor to welcome today's esteemed moderator as well as distinguished speakers for another vibrant session under the academic umbrella of ASI, the TED Talk series. Today's theme is Scalpel to Stilettos, which reflects not just surgical precision and excellence, but also the grace, resilience, and evolving leadership of women in surgery. We are privileged to have with us an accomplished panel of speakers from across the country, comprising of Dr. Naaz Jahan Sheikh from Hospet, Dr. Shabnam Bashir from Srinagar, Dr. Navneet Kaur from Delhi, and Dr. Shilpa Rao from Mumbai. And the added delight is the entire session will be moderated by the most affable but yet gentle past President ASI, Convener International Affairs, Dr. Prabal Neogi sir. The journey for a lady surgeon often involves a unique set of challenges. It's a tightrope walk, I will say, balancing between the rigorous demands of surgical training with their personal milestones in the life. And it truly hones the multitasking prowess of a lady surgeon. And also today's session will definitely reflect on how we all can, men and women alike, foster a surgical culture that celebrates equality. With this few words, I welcome you all once again and looking for the wonderful session ahead. Thank you very much, sir.
The platform is yours.
Thank you, sir. Very good evening to our incoming president, President-elect Dr. Pratap Varute, Secretary Dr. Gaddi Divakar, immediate past President Dr. Praveen Suryavanshi, Lady Treasurer Madhumita Mukhopadhyay, and our dear Dr. Santosh John Abraham. A very good evening to us, all of you, my esteemed colleagues, my panelists, distinguished guests, and dear students from all across the country who are watching this on YouTube. It is both a privilege and pleasure to welcome you to this very special edition of ASI Times, which started during my term a couple of years ago. And I'm so happy that it is working magic and wonders. But today we are not talking academics, but are about to celebrate not only surgical excellence, but also courage, leadership, and grace of these lady surgeons. These are all very highly accomplished surgeons who, of course, are masters, as you all know, masters in handling not only the knife or the scope or the ultrasound probe with equal elan as they care for their families, their loved ones, and add grace and charm to our association, the Association of Surgeons of India, to the chapters, to the sections which they are part of, and of course, break the monotony of the so-called, as Shilpa said, the old boys club. Today, we have a group of very senior surgeons with us whose journey has inspired not only many of us, but it has inspired a generation. They have not only excelled in the operating theater, but they have broken barriers. They have mentored so many residents, countless trainees, and they have enriched our profession of surgery with, I would say, wisdom and compassion. As a colleague and a surgeon, it is my honor to engage them in a conversation today that will go beyond the scalpel to, let's say, the stories, their struggles, and the strengths that have shaped their beautiful careers. I would like to just introduce my panelists and would like to share my screen here, if I'm allowed to do so. We have four stalwarts with us who have been pioneers of surgery in the country. There is no order to their names. It is just a random selection. I dare not ask their age, who is senior and who is the junior most. So it is a random way it will come in. So first I'm going to introduce Professor Navneet Kaur. She's a distinguished expert in breast surgery, and she works as the Senior Director of Breast Surgical Oncology at the Max Super Specialty Hospital in Noida. And she has been years teaching in the teaching profession as Professor and Director of Surgery at the very famous UCMS, or the University College of Medical Sciences, and the very prestigious GTB Hospital in Delhi. She's a pioneer of oncoplastic. When I say pioneer of oncoplastic surgery, she's one of the first ones to start oncoplastic surgery in India. And as a founder member of ABSI, and now we congratulate her. She's a president-elect of that very association. She has authored many research publications, and she has won various awards, including the Outstanding ASI Member Award. That is what Navneet looked like in her student days. She graduated from, as you can see, the left corner of her picture, that is the famous Aligarh Muslim University, and that is where she graduated from. And I believe she was not only good in studies, but she was very good in games. You can see her in giving lighting the flame. That is shows that she was an athlete and a good badminton player in her times. This is a professional journey to all the years at JTB and GTB Hospital, Guru Tegh Bahadur Hospital, and finally the right corner as president of ABSI. She's married to a chartered accountant by profession. Husband is a chartered accountant by profession. She's got two sons, and I think she's very fond of dogs. I can see the pug on the left upper corner and a beagle right in the lower corner of the picture. So, welcome, Dr. Navneet Kaur, to this ASI Time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me today.
Next, Dr. Naz Sheikh. She's a highly distinguished surgeon, and right now, she is the chairman of one of the most active chapters of the country, the Karnataka State Chapter. She has broad shoulders to carry this huge responsibility on her head, and she is doing that marvelously. She has been past vice president of the IMA of the Karnataka State Branch and IMA of Hosapet. Beyond her surgical career, we have chosen her as the ultrasound lead for the country, for training surgeons in ultrasound. She is an excellent ultrasonologist, and she is the one who is leading the ultrasound program for surgeons in the country. And apart from a surgical career, she's a very accomplished poet. And though I haven't read her books, Under the Green Leaf and Beyond the Cutting Edge, our books are they are poems on medical topics. And that is an amazing hobby that she has. She comes from a dedicated family of professionals. That is her journey as a student. I think you can see the Bellary Medical College, and the other one is I think the Belgaum College. And on the lower picture, you can see her with the Hippocratic Oath and how true she has been to that Hippocratic Oath. That is her taking over charge as the chairman of one of the most brightest chapters of our country, the Karnataka State Chapter. I welcome Dr. Naz to this show today. She has been a trekker, and she has so many hobbies apart from writing poetry, and she has this passion for everything good in life. Moving on to our third participant, a close friend of mine, Professor Shilpa Rao, professor and unit chief of surgery, and she heads the breast services at Mumbai's very famous KEM hospital. And you can see the 4 points that she has written. That is her passion. Equitable healthcare, students forever. She's been doing a course of Gen Surge for the last 16 to 18 years. She's a passionate mentor, and teaching is by passion and, of course, not a profession. She started the first multidisciplinary breast services in a public hospital in Maharashtra. She did a landmark trial on AI. She has been given ASI orations, and organizer of Gen Surge, which is a very prestigious event with the National Conference of Postgraduates from all over the country. And I have attended a couple of them, and it is something worth attending. For the trainees, it's something really, really, really good. She's been reviewer for international and national journals like Pancreatology, BMJ, ICS, and of course published articles, and has been faculty at many national and international events. That is Shilpa. Shilpa's husband, he lives in Mumbai and also has interests in Singapore, so he shuttles between Mumbai and Singapore. So Shilpa has a double responsibility of taking care of everything at home as well as in Singapore, and has a loving son. And of course, she's fond of dogs, as you can see there, a Labrador right there as a young girl. Coming to our last, but not the least, the youngest participant today, Shabnam Bashir, a leading surgical oncologist specializing in breast and colorectal cancers from Kashmir. She's the director of surgical oncology, breast and colorectal centers at Paras Hospital in Srinagar. She's worked in many places all over the country. Apollo hospitals in Bangalore, the TMH in Mumbai, and she's an accomplished academician. And she conceptualized this Blueathon and Pinkathon, which was a huge breast cancer awareness movement in Kashmir, in Srinagar, which has now become a flagship event. I welcome Dr. Shabnam to this forum. Shabnam is from Srinagar, and then you can see the colon. She's made the human chain in the form of a colon on the screen, and that she is a very well acclaimed breast and a colorectal surgeon. So this is our panel today, and let us start. I'm a bit. I've never interviewed anybody. I have always been on the other side of the table, so I may not be the best person to do so. So please, if I have mistakes, please correct me, and I apologize for if I hurt somebody's feelings. So there's a disclaimer before I start. Right. So let us talk about our professional journey and the milestones. And I will be directing questions at each one of you. And I would like you to be short in your answers so that we get the other people also to answer questions. So my first question is to my friend Shilpa.
Good evening, Dr.
Shilpa,
Niyogi. Yes.
I haven't introduced myself, by the way. I am one of the for the people who are watching on YouTube. I am one of the past presidents of this association, and I have been given this job by our academic council, Dr. Santosh John Abraham. Right, Shilpa. So, well, let us start now. Shilpa, what made you choose surgery as a career, and especially at a time when fewer women were entering this field? They were all into gynecology. Why surgery?
I think, Dr. Niyogi, a lot of our career choices is based on personal experiences. My mother had gone through an ovarian malignancy when I was in my MBBS, and I come from a family full of doctors, very large family, lots of doctors. So it was given that I would be a doctor, but surgery, I think my mom's journey influenced my decision.
How many residents at that time were females? And why do
I
you
was
think there's a sudden rise in the number of females taking surgery?
So when I joined, and I'm not going to tell you the year, but I was the only surgeon in the entire community of surgeons in that batch. In fact, I think ours was the first batch of female residents that was accepted at Tata Memorial, and so that's then. And I think because we have mentors like us today, yes, there are many more ladies coming into the field, and kudos to them.
Absolutely amazing. And my question to Dr. Naz. Dr. Naz, did you have mentors or role models who shaped your decision to join surgery? And who were they? And did you have any
Yes, you're
male
muted.
mentors or seniors at that time as your ideals?
Ma'am,
Dr.
you're
Nas, you're muted.
Ma'am, you are muted.
Good evening, everyone. Uh, Respected President of ASI, Dr. Marutha Pandian, past President, Dr. Praveen Suryavanshi, our Secretary, Dr. Gaddi, Director of Social Services, Dr. G. Siddesh, Treasurer, Dr. Madhumita, and all Dr. Shivaprakash, Shivakant Mishra, and Dr. Prabal Neogi, our moderator today, and all my co-panelists. First and foremost, I would like to thank you for giving us this wonderful opportunity and bringing us all together. And I represent the rural doctor. So that was imbibed in my head as I was during my childhood itself, that rural service is something you should be doing because the rural people need you. And that inspired me. And between choosing surgery and medicine, I thought a surgeon could offer a better service to a rural community rather with his instruments rather than just prescribing with his pen. So that made me take up surgery at that time.
What
And
about your mentors, ma'am? In surgery, did you have any role models that helped your decision?
so when we were in Belgaum, we had our head of the department, Dr. Jatti, with a very fine hand. So looking at him, we all were very much inspired to take up surgery at that time when we were undergraduates at Belgaum. So that was one of my turning points, and I decided I should do surgery at that time.
And I believe you are an expert ultrasonologist.
Yes.
What did you pick up ultrasound, and when did you take this up as a as a as an adjunct to surgery?
So when I started my practice in a rural place, at that time, getting an ultrasound was almost 100 kilometers away, and it was just not possible. And most of our diagnosis was based on clinical findings. And it was in one situation wherein a patient, I opened thinking it was acute appendicitis, and it was a massive hemoperitoneum. And we, in a rural place, had to get blood, send the husband to 100 kilometers distance. He went in a lorry and got blood. That night I decided that I should be doing something for a diagnostic purpose, and I traveled almost every day to a place called Davangere, which is near me, almost 70 kilometers daily. And then I went to a radiologist and got a little training, and then started doing it myself. That is what inspired me to do the ultrasound.
That is passion. And Dr. Naz heads our ultrasound training for surgeons. Let it be known to all our members. She's the one who heads our program and for POCUS. I welcome Dr. Siddesh, our Director Social Service here, and Dr. Shivakant Mishra, who have joined in just now. Thank you very much, sir, for joining. My question to Dr. Navneet. You are a breast surgeon.
Right.
What made you choose breast surgery as a career? Was your comfort level more while examining female patients?
See, I'm not really a breast surgeon. I wasn't a dedicated breast surgeon till about a year back. I've been a general surgeon all my life. So 30 years of my faculty work as well as 5 years of residency, close to 5 years of residency. I was general surgeon and I have, picked up skills of all kinds. So I can do endourology. At my place, we did not have any super specialty departments. So we could do urology. We were doing endoscopies. We were doing pediatric surgery, all under one department. And I would say that I have done more TURPs than maybe breast cancer surgeries. So yes, but and PCNLs and URS and whatnot. So my skill set is very wide. But I kind of specialized or subspecialized in breast because, as you mentioned, there were very few surgeons at my age, and I wouldn't mind admitting. I entered MBBS in 82 and did my MS 89 and 91. So very few females were there, and people will seek me out to take opinion regarding their breast-related problems. So I felt I needed to do something more than just do a mastectomy and simple lumpectomies. That's how I think it was driven by patients' need to see a female surgeon for breast-related problems, that I went abroad and wanted to get trained in better techniques in breast surgery. And once I came back, that became my area of specialization and research. So
But
it's
do you not think that more of these female residents, when they want to super specialize, most of them want to go for breast surgery or for coloproctology? Is that the comfort level there, or is that the
I think
financial
breast
considerations?
has breast I think is of late become because the spectrum of surgery in breast has expanded a lot. Uh, say 10 years back, people were doing only mastectomy. It is only last 10 years that new techniques and the wide spectrum of surgeries have come up. So it is combining a lot of plastic with breast, and the number of breast cases has gone up. So that is why breast and endocrine or breast per se is becoming a specialty many girls are taking. Obviously a comfort label. And I think whenever people are hiring, especially in corporates, they want a female surgeon because patients are always more comfortable. They can share things with female surgeons which they can't with males. So that is an automatic choice. Otherwise, I think when I was doing my MS, people were either taking a pediatric surgery or plastic surgery. The breast thing has just happened in the last 10 years, I would say.
Can I ask you, can you recall your first independent surgery and what were the emotions that were associated with it? Your first oncoplastic breast surgery. You got a pioneer of oncoplastic breast surgery.
Yes, I think when I came back after getting trained in all those techniques, the challenge was to be able to do that, because patients were not aware. Others will be very skeptical of what you were doing. Breast conservation was barely accepted. Initial experience, somehow I have always been very confident about my surgical hand. So I could always tell them that you will have good results, would not have complications. So initial few patients either would be very happy because whenever they went for a radiation treatment, people will be asking, oh, what kind of surgery is this? This looks so normal. Or they will be like, who has done this kind of surgery? Where is the tumor and where is the incision? So either they will be very confused and scared, something very funny has been done on them, or feel very good about it because something very special has been done on them. But they were always happy with the end result of breast looking very nice. So
Excellent.
yeah, and by the time I started doing breast surgery, I was already a reader in surgery with many years of experience. So I've been doing surgeries for a long time.
Absolutely. You have been a pioneer there, and with the experience in GTB Hospital in Delhi, one of the three major hospitals.
Right.
You have done really, really well. My question to Shabnam, given you have traveled a lot across the country, coming from a conservative family in Kashmir, you've traveled all across the country, got your training in Bangalore, in Mumbai, and you've traveled abroad as well. Do you find working in Kashmir as a woman more difficult than in other places? This perspective is only as a gender issue.
Well, majority of to the shock of first, good evening to all the office bearers of the ASI and my colleagues. Majority of the people probably listening to this would expect a yes as an answer to that, but absolutely no. Across the country and across the globe, the trend is the same. There is a bias. There is a bias within the faculty. There is a bias when the patients are trying to find a surgeon for themselves. There's a bias when we're getting trained, and there are a lot of issues which are absolutely common in this place as well as the rest of the country and across the globe. There is a book written by an Indian surgeon outside who had interviewed 60 female surgeons across the globe, and it was shocking to read and to know what all they have been through during their residencies, trainings, as well as their junior posts when they were, getting recruited and all. So I don't find any
Do you think it
difference.
has changed over the years, or is it changing, or do you think it's the same, still the same?
Changing at a very, very slow pace, a very, very slow pace. But the only point that has made difference over the last 5 to 10 years is that there was a huge gap when we had almost no women in surgery, and now we are seeing mushrooming of the female surgeons. That's because, as I think one of our panelists already pointed out, we're having more of women coming in surgery. Getting a mentor in surgery is becoming very easy for them. You have to have that fine balance of not being taken an advantage of when you're choosing your mentors and you want to go up in the ladder of your career. So now with the more and more female surgeons being there, the younger ones are feeling more comfortable. They know they can look up to certain female mentors without getting used. That is something that has been very troublesome in the surgical branches and in any branch which is male dominated. So it is changing at a very slow pace.
You have had problems in your early years, and you think so. Let us ask a senior person, Shilpa. What unique challenges did you face as a woman surgeon during your early years?
Yeah, so everybody,
And can I just pip in here another small question added to this? It is common belief among the young male residents that women have it much easier than men with the teachers. They could get away with either a flutter of the eye, flutter of the eyelashes, or an occasional teary eye. Is that right?
It's easy to say things unless you're walking in our shoes, especially our stilettos. So let's keep that aside. But Dr. Niyogi, since we're talking about mentors, I think for the longest time.
I'm talking about your challenges in your
Yes.
early years as a woman surgeon.
Yeah. So, getting a mentor, getting somebody to stand by you. It's like you've been to KM. It's like finding parking at KM at 10 o'clock. So it was impossible to get mentors. And ASI, I must add this. So ASI has been a platform where I have received mentors. Derai Durustai, and I would like to name Dr. Adarsh Chowdhury, Dr. Santosh Abraham. You have been pioneering into the ASI wins, thing. So I have met many men across the country today who we can interact with. That was not the case when we were, starting out. And like all the other ladies have mentioned, it was a huge fight at every level, whether it was, getting a surgery. So I had a professor who would give me a major, supra major surgery if I wore a sari to the OT. And I'm an oncologist. So for me, that was a very benign, thing to do to get a good surgery. But when I think back on it, I mean, it is a little obnoxious. And I think it still continues. I don't think as women, we were treated, like you said, pampered.
Talking about your sari, would you advise a dress code for both females and males in the ward?
The only dress code I would tell them is that when you look at yourself in a full-length mirror, if you were a patient, would you be confident enough to go to that doctor? That's the only dress code that I would expect of them, that they're clean, they dress well, they don't, yes, as a woman, you don't want to expose more than, you wouldn't wear the same that you would wear to a party. So that common sense, obviously will prevail. But having something forced on you or having it used as a weapon is something I feel which is extremely, not acceptable. And so these were small things that happened, but they kept reminding you that you were different from the guys all the time. And no, we did not cry. No, we did not ask for extra favors. In fact, we had to work harder to prove ourselves, to prove our mettle. We had to put in more hours, put in more paperwork. So I don't think we've had it easy. We've had harassment at all levels. We've had harassment on sexual levels, which nobody wants to talk about. It's very subtle, and it's very subclinical, but it has been there, and it exists in 2026 as well. So it's just that we really didn't have an addressal system, a woman mentor we could go to at that point in time. So we kept working our way through. So I don't think, it's fair to say that we've gotten where we are with our tears and our nakras. No, we've gotten here through sweat and through hard work and a lot of determination and efforts. So I think it's not right to belittle us like this.
I totally agree with you. It's only your competence and your hard work that pays. It is nothing apart from that which matters. Shabnam, did you ever encounter gender bias in the operating room or academic space? And how did you navigate through it?
It started right from the word go. So when I applied I did my DNB surgery, and we used to apply for the the hospitals to join in. The hospital that I wanted to join in, the first thing that I was told right before the interview, when I was just getting to understand when they are coming up with the interview, was that this place is not meant for women. And I said, I want to be in the surgery. They said, you might want to be in the surgery, but you can't be in this hospital because we don't want female surgeons. So it started from the right go. And that was a metropolitan city. It was not Kashmir. It was one of the biggest chain of the hospitals in Delhi NCR. And so that is how it has been. And then there was a clash of the opinions. And my life was technically made hell for first 6 months, wanting and wishing and willing, praying for me to leave that. But I had toiled for it. I had earned it through sweat and blood. So I was not going to leave it. I went through that hell, and I had to work really hard. It was kind of like 36 hours duty there in the hospital every day. And so they literally made sure that I don't see daylight for 6 months. And every day I would probably come back home and cry.
Can I ask you, have you ever used your charm to influence colleagues?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And this has rather been a very, very difficult thing for me, because whenever we would speak about something and they would comment on the looks, I would be really frozen and I would be really furious, because then the biggest problem that the women face in our field is that everybody wants to give the credit to how they look or any particular, way of dressing up and stuff like that. Trying to negate the toilings that have gone through the years more than our male counterparts in getting there, because at every level, as Dr. Shilpa said, we have to put in 100 times more efforts to prove that we are equally good or better in certain aspects. And then that credit going to how you look or how you dress is absolutely unjust, and you have to draw that line right then and there.
Yeah, but don't you think the things have changed? Dr. Naz, do you think that the environment for women in surgery has changed now, like compared to what you faced during your residency days and the girls that are facing today? Because I asked my lady residents, and they don't have a complaint. Like they are absolutely happy with how we treat them or what they get. So how has the environment for women in surgery changed over the last few decades? We have been there for many years now.
Sir, when I had joined, I was lucky enough to have already 2 or 3 seniors with me. So for me, it was not difficult, and our department in Bellary Medical College was very, very considerate and helpful for the lady postgraduates. So Dr. Professor M.R. Budihar was very considerate to all the lady postgraduates, and we were all considered, very, very lucky, because Dr. Budihar, I don't say he used to favor us, but he used to take a lot of care about us. And then when it came to studies and when it came to questioning and all, he used to say that we should be answering it perfectly. So that was what it was that time. So don't have these experiences. But then today I find that there are so many postgraduates joining in. The numbers are enough for them to be so confident. So they are safer, and then definitely they have so many places to go. They look for mentors. There are so many seniors to help them out. So it is the road has been made very smooth for them. So it is very easy for them now in the nowadays.
Dr. Lavneet, you have been a teacher in a premier medical college of the country. What was your biggest problem in tackling female residents as compared to the boys? And what advice would you give young women considering a career in surgery today? So, my first question is, what was your biggest problem in tackling female residents as compared to the male ones? This is an interesting question because you have a lot of experience. So
Right. So I would say female residents are really good. They are more disciplined. If they are assigned a job, they will finish that. So it's easier to work with them, because if something, they are far more, I would say, disciplined and focused than the boys in surgery or in general. So there has never been a problem in having them deliver work. I somehow would appreciate if somebody wanted to cry and use those, as you said, a tear to find concessions. I never kind of supported that behavior. So I said, when you taken up surgery, you are prepared to be at par. So don't ask for any gender bias. You will be treated equally. If you are good, you will get what you deserve. But if you're not good, then obviously things will not come your way easily. And in fact, boys and girls, Delhi is a premier institute, and all the cream comes. So they are really good and sincere about their work. There are very few who may come. I'm just saying that reserve seats who may not be at par in terms of intellect, but even they see the leader and they tend to follow.
I'm sure they would be hardworking.
Yeah. So by and large, residents have been good, I would say. Of late, I think COVID made a lot of change. Post-COVID,
it was easier for you to work with the female residents than with the male ones. They were more obedient, and the male residents listening to this program won't be very happy with that, madam.
No, what I'm saying is, no, working both of them was easy.
Yes,
I never had any problem with any of the residents. I would say that, but girls stick to the discipline far more than boys do.
They're more obedient, and yeah, of course, definitely, I agree with you. Let's go beyond the operating room. Dr. Naz,
yes,
how did you balance the demanding life of a surgeon with the family and personal responsibilities? Did you get help from your husband or any family member in bringing up your sons?
So I have been very lucky that I have a husband who really helps me out with all my hospital work. So I don't.
He's an orthopedic surgeon, by the way.
Yes, orthopedic surgeon. And then he looks at, since it is our own hospital, he takes care of the administration. So my job is to see the patients, operate, and then come back. And rest of it, I come back and take care of my children and family at home. And my biggest support has been my mother, who was there till my children grew up and they had to leave the house for further studies. So that way I have been very lucky. So beyond the operating room, it is kitchen. Then it is the students.
I think
Yes.
I think the social fabric in our country is such that with the extended family, it's so much easier. Navneet, how important was family support in your journey? Do you think a joint family, including the in-laws in the house, is a huge support, or is it a hindrance to one's career? Advise juniors, please.
Absolutely. I think without support from the family, it is so very difficult for people to continue. I have seen many brilliant surgeons taking a career break because they did not have a family support system. And so I think invest in relationship. That's my advice to young girls. People find it difficult to adjust with in-laws. Yes, that requires effort. But if they are around for you, that makes your life very easy. And I again was very lucky. I had both my parents as well as my in-laws with me when my children were growing up. So I never took a career break on account of that. And they were always there to look after the children.
You are very lucky, ma'am, to have the two sets of parents with you.
Parents,
I think
yes,
you were
absolutely.
extraordinarily lucky. Shilpa, you must have made a lot of personal sacrifices while bringing up your child. Uh, were these moments when personal sacrifices felt overwhelming? And what was your reaction? Depression? Was it anger? Was it remorseful nature? What was it like?
No, I think there was guilt, in the terms of trying to balance, if that is the word they could use, personal and professional life. But I think over a period of time, a sort of integration happened. And it's like those air masks you wear in the plane, unless you put it on yourself first, you can't really help anybody else. But even though my husband was away for some point, my father was a very strong figure in my household. He was he always said, my daughter is my daughter and she can be what she wants. And my husband has also been pushing me into doing what I want. He's been very supportive, except of course he said, like, if you can take academics, if you want to take surgery, which, it's fine by me because I got married when I just finished my third MBBS. So he said, pathology would have been nicer, but yes, you go ahead and do surgery, but can you do academics instead of like going into corporate work? And I thought that was a fair exchange that happened, and I'm happy to be in academics. So I think it's never been anger. It's there have been burnouts, of course. I've been a single parent for a period when he was in Singapore, but a lot of support from my parents. And I think it's useless wasting time on anger and bitterness and what have you.
True.
I have also kind of dealt with the guilt, and like I said, now it's an integration. My son gets it as well. So I know I'm doing my best, and that's the most I can do. And I think we've done a good job thus far. So I'm proud of myself in that format. Today, I am proud of myself. I wasn't, but today I am.
Excellent. Shabnam, uh, what kept you resilient during phases of clashes of your career with your marital life? Do you think this generation of male surgery residents are better than your generation of surgery residents? I mean, more adjusting and amiable? What first part of the question?
First part of the
What kept you
question.
resilient during phases, your clashes of your career with your marital life?
So there were no clashes between my career and marital life. It was a decision that I had made that I will get settled a little late because I didn't want to have a kid and leave it with my parents or nannies and not to be there for the kid. So I finished majority of my surgical residency, and then I was in my fellowships in TMH when I got married. Had a kid, but unfortunately the marriage didn't work because of the other reasons, and then I had to take care of my kid, and it was again very conscious decision to decide whether to continue with my job at that point of time when I had my kid, because we got separated in that year only. So I stuck by my kid. I had just joined as head of the unit at Apollo and had co-founded a division there, and it was a huge responsibility. And then I had kid, and the COVID also happened, and then I had to take a call to choose between the things, and I quit my job. I quit my job for my kid and didn't work for one whole year and didn't miss out on any of his firsts, first blab, first cry, first walk, first scroll or anything. So I don't have absolutely any regrets about that. And then afterwards, I started working part-time. We moved to my own native place, Kashmir, and I started working part-time. And I worked part-time till he finished his preschool and all and went into his official schooling. And I have joined as a director in Paris now when he has joined his official school, so that I can balance things, and I gave him the time when he wouldn't ever get his childhood back. So it was a very conscious decision. I think everything falls into place if you're passionate about what you're doing, and then you're honest enough in your personal and professional life. So
Amazing, ma'am. Kudos to you
it
for
worked.
doing everything that you have done and raising a child as well, being a single parent. I really, it's hats off to you. That's too much. Amazing. Can we go on to we have mentorships and leadership levels at ASI. We tried to make mentors, if you remember, a couple of years ago. all over the country for younger surgeons to look up to. So, Shilpa, why do you think that despite so many women surgeons in our country, there are very few at the top of the leadership ladder?
I think those are questions you should ask our male counterparts, including you. But so I
I would
don't
love
know.
to have you as my vice president or as my secretary.
So I think your ASI data itself says that there are only 12.5% surgeons in women surgeons in the whole setup of in India. And women get their chances in academics because again it's a rise by default. In corporates, it is still abysmal, the number of women heading or being CEOs or chairs of various places. And I think that's a question every male who's listening to this conversation should ask, and probably find answers
I
to.
disagree with you here, Shilpa. See, the leadership levels are on an equal platform. We are talking about equality. Equality means you are both at an equal level. Now you have to fight to get to your top. So there's nobody is giving to give you a prop to go up. So
Sergi, there is
it's a
the glass ceiling that is there. It is made of fantastic glass. It's so transparent. You will not see it, but it is there. And I think every lady on this panel will agree. We come to a point and we do meet with it. The resistance is very subtle. It is very occult. It's not in the face like it used to be, but it is there. And I don't think
what makes you
being
think
an
that?
sorry,
What makes
because
you think like that?
see, you mentioned the old boys club. So yes, that definitely exists. Men meet after work, they bond after work, they kind of interact after work, and they really act like a club. When women finish work, we just go back to our homes and we do our things. So this I won't say, like I said, it's not old girls ever, but the girls networking professionally
Girls never
is,
grow old, as you said.
it doesn't really happen to the same extent, and I think it's this out of work community that is there, which the men have, which the kind of the support is really great. I think
Well,
it's unfortunate
you
I have
have
to say
Shilpa.
this.
You have got two leaders here. One is leading the ABSI. The other is leading the Karnataka state chapter. Did they have
Yes.
any problems in going up on the leadership trail, both for Navneet and for Naz?
They will have to answer those questions for them, but I think that it is still there is still a kind of it's like we are saying that it's, oh, things have gotten better in 2026, but it's like saying your infection rates are going down, but they're still there. You can't say that they're zero. So yes, there is a bias still existing in 2026. When a male, it's just something I think that it's much more stronger, much older, the men's club. The women have to still form those clubs. We are getting there, but again, I'm going to be brutally honest here. Some of my worst enemies have been women in the profession. Unfortunately, there have been very good mentors, very good women friends that I have, but equally, I think because it's such a competitive field, there is a sense of competition amongst women. That comfort is not equivocal all across the place, and maybe therefore we kind of need to get together like we're getting now, and maybe in a few years we'll understand the strength of unity and we will get really going.
Yeah.
But yes, till
If I
then.
take this question to Dr. Naz or to Dr. Navneet, after first Dr. Naz.
I think if you have to go to see the leadership and you have to be in the leadership, you have to vision yourself in that leadership post. And for that, you need to do a little bit of sacrifice. And working for an association involves other than our practice, family life, as well as our commitment to that particular association where you want to be. So when I started my association, I found that there were hardly any ladies attending the conference. So there are only 3 or 4, and it was a voting basis. And our association, I am very proud of our Karnataka state chapter. So I stood up and said that there should be at least one reservation for the women, because we cannot get votes in a general body meeting of 100, and there are only 2 women sitting and trying to ask for a place. I don't think they would get it. And there was 100% raise of hands that day to give us that one post. And today, slowly, we don't have any reservation. We don't need any reservations. We are 4 people in an executive committee of 13. So that is how our women have worked for the association. And slowly I started pulling each one of them. And I said that you have a lot of opportunities in the association. Please join in. So I have asked them to work, and everybody works beyond their capacity and tries to contribute to the association. And I feel if you want the leadership, you have to work for it.
It is, I think, thanks to leaders like Dr. Siddesh in Karnataka and now Dr. Gaddi, who are leading this association. It is kudos to them also. Dr. Navneet, did you have, why did you, you have become an ABSI president? Do you think it is late in your career, or you should have been a president earlier?
No, I wouldn't call it late. I would say just maybe at the right time. I have been in the association right from the founder years till the time I was like beyond treasurer, could either be president or out. Talking about, yes, there is a natural advantage to men because they are far more in number. And obviously there is a hobby which is not possible for girls. As Shilpa rightly said, that our time is to be limited to work and home. And there's very little time to socialize out of, these commitments. So that is easy for men to have company and create support and be very easy, to find positions. So when I decided to contest for the election, I knew that not much support would be there. But since I believe that I have invested enough time, people have seen me over the years, do good work, share good work. If they value my leadership, they will vote for me. And I believe you would be surprised to know that I did not campaign at all. I only said, okay, I want to be a president. I've been around for a long time, so I'm putting in my nomination. I did not seek permissions from people who generally play a role in decision making. I said, I just told them I'm doing it. And maybe barring few friends where I posted a message that if you think I'm good, vote for me, I did not do anything. So election, and I did not, I would say, win a very great majority because my competitor and friend did do his diligent campaigning. So, but I still had a comfortable majority. So I would say, yes, it is not that easy. People don't find that easy to have a female on board when there is a kind of a group with Bohami there, because I can be a disruptor. But yes, but if you believe in yourself and you have done good work, maybe and a good luck, it works.
I think things are going to change because nowadays, with majority of females coming into surgery, we have 25 seats in our college, and 13 of girls have joined. So it's now they are in the majority. So I think we will have a very soon the guys will be in a minority. So do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea to have a separate women's wing in ASI?
I personally really don't.
They're very diplomatic. You don't have to be diplomatic about it. I know you might be hurting somebody's feelings or anything. Is it a good idea or a bad idea to have a women's wing? Women's wing had come up, so I'll tell you the history later.
Yeah. I think maybe right now we need it to have more mentorship and more support. But in
right
times
now,
to come,
you don't need it now.
Maybe when the girls grow up and they take senior positions, then we will not need it. And by and large, I think association has been fair. Whosoever deserves get a position. Experiences won't matter. Everybody has his own journey. So somebody may have a problem at certain level, maybe things eased out later. So no journey is perfect. Everybody has faced challenges, but life goes on, and one should be just ready to take on the next one.
Shabnam, just changing the gears here. You have excelled in your leadership roles in many organizations, creating human chains. We saw the human chain of the colon being built, the Blueathon, the Pinkathon, mobilizing people for social work, etc. Do you think it would be easier for you if you were a man? And why do you say so, if it was easier?
Mobilizing or doing this kind of the work, which is for cancer awareness, initially it was really very difficult till people actually understood what I was doing. But I would just quickly comment on what you had initially mentioned about this leadership role, talking about the equality, that everything is out there. I think people confuse equality with equity. When you're having women competing men out there, women are multitasking. When you're sitting in your OPD and you get a call that groceries are finished, which set of the clothes need to be washed with which set, and the school assignment of your kid, parent-teacher meeting, then has the kid finished the work or not, or getting late sometimes early in the morning for your meetings because you have to drop your kid, or you have to attend that meeting, or you have to finish their assignments and all. So I think there is it's very unfair to have a comparison between men and women working out there in the world, because the leadership roles are not only about this association or any other small association or any other diverse association. It is about overall leadership roles that are being given to women across all these professions across the globe. And that doesn't come because it's just like 12 to 15% only, and that is because there is a constant comparison of the performances also going on, wherein they're trying to compare a sprint runner, a short runner, with somebody who is running the obstacle.
Right. I agree, Shabnam. You have been multitasking, right? You have got many roles. You have groceries are finished. You have the kitchen. The maid hasn't come. But men also have their problems. You get a call from the bank. The income tax returns have not been filed.
With the women working,
the
with the
chartered
women
accountant
working
is
around, they are managing all that as well.
after your after you. So there is a sort of a gender divide here between the man and the woman, that they takes care of the multitasking. So it is not that men have it easy. Yes, they also have to do.
I think that is when it is a working man and a homemaker. When it is a working man and a working woman, women are also having those, investment issues and their insurances and their indemnities and their health insurances. So in addition to that, they have to tackle the home affairs as well. So I think they are.
Now, we're running short of time. So just quickly, we have a few closing questions. 2 or 3 minutes are left. How do you see the future of women in surgery in India and globally? Anybody who wants to take this up?
I think I see the future quite brilliant now, with a lot of women who have broken the ceilings. It has been a huge responsibility to be the role models for those who want to come into the
right. Okay, quick fire questions. Looking back, Navneet, would you choose surgery all over again?
Absolutely, without second thoughts.
Excellent. Dr. Naz, what legacy would you like to leave for future generation of surgeons?
Be honest and be hardworking. Stay updated.
Shilpa, what was the most difficult decision you have ever had to make as a surgeon?
As a surgeon, as a profession, I think it is to not get bitter, and to not let anger, and to not have this divide between my male and female residents, to treat them equally. And like you said, the stiletto, Dr. Niyogi, can be used as a scalpel. But I choose to wear it and walk tall with grace. And I look at the guys, right into their eyes. And if they blink first, then you have the answer. But if I can, today we are able to, meet them. And I think it's about walking tall and treating, not males and females, treating people as persons and treating them fairly. So I think that was a difficult decision. There was anger, there was bitterness, but I think, I've moved from that today to a position of, grace and self pride.
I agree totally, Shilpa. You are a strong woman, and with your stilettos, you are even taller. Navneet, has there been a case that has taught you humility in surgery?
Immediately, I can't think of anything as such for humility. But yes, I think one should not be overconfident while doing surgery. Take a help and opinion whenever it is required, so you don't make mistakes. And if there is a complication, admit to it, explain to the patient properly. I think being absolutely honest with your patients in communicating everything, good and bad, is very important.
Excellent. I have got 2 questions, which I'll ask each one of you. Have to be brief in answering this. Dr. Naz, which moment in your career do you consider your proudest moment in your career till now? This is question common for all. Which one moment do you consider as your proudest moment?
I think the turning point which the patient taught me that I should be uh, giving myself more skill. That is the one thing which I explained already regarding that patient who had opened thinking it was that she was my turning point, and that is the one I can never forget.
Proudest moment, Navneet.
Yeah, I think I might have said that when one of my mentors told me I had an excellent hand in surgery. But to be honest, my proudest moment was when I was doing a surgery in a large Wilms tumor. I ended up transecting IVC. And everybody was shell-shocked in the operation theater, but I was cool enough to take out the piece, stitch it back, and patient did well. So I think that probably is the proudest moment of my life. A bad mistake, but managed.
Yeah, absolutely. We all make mistakes. What is your proudest moment, Shilpa, in your career? Apart from Gen Surge.
No.
Gen Surge has been a very proud moment for you, for
So,
all of us.
So I am a surgical oncologist at the base. So, you know, in the first few years, they used to always come in and ask for, you know, male doctors. So I think the first and the most proudest woman was when this male came and asked for me by my name. And he said, you know, I've heard about you and your empathy and your talent, and I want to get operated by you. I think that kind of was a turning point moment in my career. It just added the confidence even more.
Proudest moment, Shabnam?
There have been a couple of moments, but I would just quote two. One is during my residency when, you know, initially they said that we don't want a female surgeon. And when I finished and I was given farewell, my mentor said that she is the best resident we have ever had. Till then, there were only male residents. So that was a very proud moment for me. And second, when I was in a conference and a bunch of young girls came up to me and said, ma'am, we are in surgery because you have been our role models. I can't forget that moment. And I think it's a huge responsibility.
These are the huge moments that we all cherish. One last question before we wind off. I think Dr. Santosh will be after me because we are just crossing 10 o'clock. But I would like to ask one question to each one of you in turn. So we'll start with Dr. Naz, then to Navneet, then to Shilpa, and then to Shabnam. Dr. Naz, if you could speak to your younger self on the first day of residency, now, what would you say? Did you get my question? If you could speak to yourself on the first day of your residency, what would you say?
I would say that I should be very sincere and take up learn the skills as much as possible. So that is what I would like to say.
Sincere and learn skills.
Learn skills as much as possible. Wherever the situation needs and wherever you are. And
Dr. Navneet, sorry, yeah, please.
And I would say that wherever you are, you should do the best possible for that particular place. It doesn't matter where you are. So if you may be in a small place or you may be in the biggest corporate hospital, so you give your best to those people around you, and that is what the society needs.
Dr. Navneet, if you could speak to your younger self today on your first day of residency, what would you say?
So I would say, believe in yourself, keep working hard. There will be obstacles, but be prepared for them. And always keep your expectations realistic. Don't aim too high, which will make you uncomfortable, distressed, stressed out. Yeah, stay true to reality, know your potential and keep working hard. And if you have decided to work hard, no obstacle is big enough to overcome.
Sky is the limit. Absolutely. We have all done that. That's true about that. Absolutely. Shilpa, if you speak to your younger self on the first day of your residency, what would you tell yourself?
That the world will talk irrespective, and therefore I should be the most of myself that I am. And having been the most of myself, I can give the most of myself and make the best of the situation. So I was trying to fit into various roles, trying various faces, but I think if I was just myself, I would have been more at peace.
Shabnam, You are very junior and you have hardly finished residency a few years back. But still, if you went to your first day of residency, what would you say or tell yourself?
I'm not that junior either, sir. But yeah,
You're the
something.
junior most here, so yeah.
So something that I keep on telling myself every day, and that is that you are your only competition. Don't compete with others. And what you need to do is better yourself every day than what you were yesterday. That's it. You got to be better than what you were yesterday, and
I
everything
would
will.
have Thank you so much. I would have loved to chat with you guys for hours, but unfortunately, ASI time is over at 10 o'clock. And I sincerely thank each one of you for being there, being sporting enough, and answering your questions right from the bottom of your heart. And we really appreciate and your presence here. You are giving your time. You are all very busy surgeons, giving your time here to ASI. And I wish and I hope that you keep serving ASI in the future years to come. And I once again like to thank our office bearers, Dr. Pratap Varute is the senior most. Maruthu Pandyam is not here, our president, the vice president, Dr. Varute, our advisors, Dr. Shivakant Mishra, Dr. Santosh, our immediate past president, Praveen, and the secretary Gaddi and treasurer, who's a lady herself, Madhumita, and Director of Social Service, the most affable Dr. Siddesh is also here. Thank you very much, and it's over to you. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
And thank you.
Thank you very
It
much.
was wonderful having a chat with you on this program and sharing such wonderful stories from all the girls on the panel.
Thank you. It's over to Dr. Santosh, please.
Thank you very much. Can I have Dr. Praveen Suryavanshi to say a few words? Dr. Praveen, immediate past president.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So I really appreciate the efforts and the hard work done by Prabal to make it so interesting. Although initially he said he doesn't have experience of talking from this side of the table, but he proved it, perfect choice to have him as a moderator for this session, because he is the one who started this ASI time, and not only that, he is women's wing at our ASI. So good job done, Prabal. And nonetheless, all lady panelists, they have, really as mentioned by Prabal, that they have spoken very frankly. They have shared all their experiences, their struggle, and their wisdom. And I'm sure that this young generation will get benefited throughout their career in the and as a surgery resident. So thank you so much, ASI, all office bearers and the academic council for hosting such a wonderful activity, and congratulations to all the participants for coming to such a platform with so much of struggle and having our own their own stories. We really appreciate your journey and your achievements. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Praveen. Can I have Dr. Siddesh? Dr. Siddesh.
Good evening, everyone. Without much fanfare, but I will tell you this has been a very wonderful evening. I'm sure a lot of young residents who have chosen already or who are opting to choose surgery as a career would definitely benefit out of this evening's TED Talk designed by our advisor, Dr. Santosh, and of course, very well carried on by our past president, Dr. Prabal Nyogi. He has been very nicely coordinating with all of you to get the best opinion and best comments out of you, realizing how good you people are individually. And as a person who is having three lady surgeons at home, my wife being a gynecologist, and first daughter-in-law gynec, and my second daughter-in-law also is a surgeon. So I have seen how challenging it is for each one of them, how in different stages of life they have gone through. But I'll tell you, we are going through a demographic change. When I joined MBBS in 75, we had only 27 out of 103 admissions to Mysore Medical College. as ladies. So now you look back, any admission to in middle of a private or a government college, you would see excess of 60% are ladies getting into medicine for whatever reason now. So now you say, obviously, there will be a sizable percentage of them choosing to become surgery by default or by choice. So naturally, we have more surgeons, lady surgeons in our gambit. This is what my analysis has been, and things are going to change. The numbers of game is going to change. Now, coming to their capacity as ladies performing surgery or taking up the role of surgeons, I would say they have an inherent capacity of being multitasking. So I can see what my wife used to do. She used to look after my kids. She used to look after the home front. She was a busy professor teaching at a medical college. She had a hectic practice outside, but still, the reputation is she would always reach the theater 2 minutes ahead of the scheduled time. But as a male surgeon, I was known to be a late arriver by any standards. So that is just speaks about a woman, how well organized they can be, multitasking, and while operating, she would be thinking where my kids are and where I should go them to pick them up. Even if I am free, she would not tell me to go and pick. She would be there to pick them. So that is an exceptional quality of a lady who can be multitasking. That is exceptional. But at the same time, I have seen Shabnam talking about sacrifice, Shilpa talking about sacrifice or stress, what they've gone through in life. But I will tell you, my wife sacrificed HOD job much earlier than me. She would have become HOD. She told no. So that shows ladies, they have, as a surgeon, they have priorities in life. They place home front ahead of their career. So whereas I would put the other way, as men, we always put it the other way. We always say home is to be looked after. I think it has come in our society to understand home is for a lady to take care. But again, I agree with Prabol that male surgeons don't have less challenges to meet. I look after the whole front of finances. She never bothered to look at what. So we have our own role to play. I think we have, if this combination works best, you have found a good choice. I think that is the best thing outcome a family could have. And today, I really appreciate all of you having given the right suggestions, their experience. I'm sure a lot of people are going to get benefit out of this. And I wish you all the best. Phil, many more years of good health. And all ladies who are listening, I wish them very best to become surgeons if they are choosing. And they're now become equal to anybody and beyond. So all the best. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you very
Santosh, for
much.
giving.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I have Dr. Misra?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dr.
please say
Santosh.
something.
Yeah, thank you
Please say
very
something.
much.
We have been listening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. It was a very interesting session organized by leadership. And my greetings to all wonderful lady surgeons on the panel who are not only beautiful, but they are competent and skilled, and they are renowned in their field. So it was a wonderful, I think, listening to you all, especially very well conducted by Probol. And I think he was perfect. He got 100 out of 100. And as there was a talk about why the ladies are missing in the leadership, and we can actually answer it very well. Myself and Santosh, and the last decade, we have been always searching for the people who can take up the leadership role. And leaders are not imported, or not, they are not brought as it is, and it requires a lot of commitment and sacrifice. Of course, the wonderful lady surgeons, they are overworked with their professional commitment and the family commitment. So it is rightly discussed by the panelists that they don't have that much extra time for socializing or for making things. But I can see a very bright future for the lady surgeons. And as a vice president of National Board, we are also faced with, and we are often asked, why the girls are not uh, joining as much as the surgical field as in other field. But I'm very happy to say, of course, top merit, they are not going to the surgery for reasons best known to all of us. But there is a gradually increasing number of lady residents, surgical residents, who are coming to in the field of general surgery, and of course in various subspecialties. I remember my time when in 1979 to 82, when I did my post-graduation, my HOD, Professor Tarachand, who was also president of Association Surgeons of India, he used to feel so happy whenever a girl joined the department of surgery. But believe me, that time it was really a challenge for a lady surgeon to pursue the uh, professional career, because I remember the three of my house surgeons, they joined surgery, and ultimately two of them switched over to some gynae practice and learning the gynecology, and they were finding the surgical career very much difficult. And but only one of my house surgeon, she later shifted to UK and did specialize in urology, and she retired as a urologist. So, but now gradually with minimal access surgery and with the changing environment, we are getting more and more. But what we need today is the role model in the ladies, not as ASI president or something. As we get more and more role models, like we are seeing here today, tonight, in fact, all those wonderful leaders, certainly in next 10 years, I can assure you, we'll have few ASI presidents certainly coming in that ladder. So that was a wonderful session. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Vishnu. Dr. Rajgopal Sharma joined a little late because of his other commitments. Sir,
Good evening, sir. Sorry that firstly, let me apologize with you. Very unavoidable reason from the university side where I'm working. So, if it has been already told, please excuse me. I remember the word Nari Shakti. I think right time, I don't know how our advisor, Dr. Santosh John Abraham, picked this topic when things are going on very, topic of the country. Yes, that is how it is, Nari Shakti. And I still remember Dr. Naz Sheikh, obviously, our chairman. So many years back in Ballari, one of the state conferences, she insisted that why there is no lady representation. If I'm wrong, I think you can correct me. There was some legislation, I'll put it that way in a lighter note, brought into the constitution. I don't say constitution, but whatever, understanding. And, the result is here now. Madam is here as a chairman. I think not many things can be told, but just to quickly because I not heard any one of you because I was out of some meeting. But patience, tolerance, sacrifice. Three things probably I, as a father or as a man, probably we are lesser than a lady surgeon. Thank you very much. That's all is my side.
thank you very much, Dr. Sharma, sir. Dr. Reddy, quick words from you.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. As we come to the close of today's engaging TED-style session on scalpels and stilettos, I extend my sincere gratitude to all our distinguished panelists for their insightful perspectives and inspiring narratives. Least to say, your experiences have not only highlighted the professional excellence, but also the resilience and balance required in our field. At least I am witness to the journey of Dr. Naz, who has been my senior at my alma mater, Ballari Medical College. She was a postgraduate when I was her intern in surgical unit. And I was the most happiest person when she became the chairman of Karnataka state chapter, because I remember her withdrawing from the contest of secretary of Karnataka state chapter, and that's the reason you people are seeing me as secretary of ASI, because of that one sacrifice. So I'm always thankful to Dr. Naz. I keep reminding myself and mentioning this on all the platforms, wherever I get a time. And I also express my heartfelt appreciation to our esteemed master moderator, I should say, Dr. Prabal Niyogi, for conducting this session with clarity and depth, ensuring a meaningful discussion. He really did a fine balancing act, I should say. I also thank the leadership for planning this session, especially Dr. Shanai, our academic director, and Dr. Santosh sir, the brain behind this session, for envisioning such a good discussion on this academic platform. So thank you all. Wishing you all a pleasant evening. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. A lot of comments are there congratulating all the girls, I would say, not ladies, who have been answering the questions. And a note of congratulations to Prabal also for holding the front strong for men too, amidst the majority of women. That comes from another lady too. So with that note, let's close this. There is one question that was very pertinent. Are women surgeons more emotional? And does that make the decisions different from male surgeons? I think this question can be answered later because the time is running too short. That's one question that has come into the picture. I would request Dr. Madhumita to say more of thanks.
Thank you, sir. This was a wonderful session. At the beginning, I thank our Vice President, Dr. Pratap Barute, our immediate past President, Dr. Praveen Suryavanshi, and our Social Service Director, Dr. Siddesh, our advisor, Dr. Shivakam Mishra, for all your valuable advice and all your valuable inputs. I thank our academic director, Dr. Rajgopal Shenoy, and our academic advisor, Dr. Santosh, who's actually the whole architect behind the whole program. And as a moderator, it was wonderful. No one could have done it better. I'll give you 200 out of 100, definitely for that. But it's true that you did play the devil's advocate quite a few times. And it needs the devil to bring out the angels. Thanks for bringing out the angels. And to all my 4 friends, the wonderful girls, Naz, Shilpa, Navneet, and Shabnam, you were just wonderful. That's what it is. Really, it was really a treat listening to you all. And there's one more point which I would like to say, that it is not actually it's not a fight or some kind of a tug of war between the male surgeon and a female surgeon. It's not. The problem is the attitude of the society as a whole. I mean, the society is the actually thing is how the society sees you at. That needs to change at the beginning. You see, if you are expected to be like a man, people will tell you be a man. Okay. Now, if you're outspoken, if a male surgeon is outspoken, people will say he's bold. But when a lady surgeon is outspoken, society tells she's rude. So this is the actual problem. You need to change the perspective of the whole society. But that's what you all said. Thanks to our secretary, Dr. Gadi Dibakar. Thanks to all of you who have been listening to this program. Good night and long live ASI.
Thank you very much. We'll meet next week at the same time today. Until then, stay safe. Good night.